Hello, I am XOWZ, and in this video, I'm going to show you the best settings from my perspective and from famous YouTubers in simple language. Let's get started. In the settings, we have two main sections, Basic and Advanced. First, we start with the Basic section. If the display left side button option is set to always on, in this state, we have two buttons on our screen for shooting, one of which can move in any direction by touch, but the other cannot. If we set it to scope on, then we do not have the left fire option in no scope mode and only have it when we are zoomed in. And if we disable it, we completely lose it and do not have it in any situation. So the best choice is to keep it on always on. And let me tell you a golden tip. In close combat, use the right fire option. And when you are scoped on an enemy, use the left fire option because it does not create recoil. Also, keep these two options on their default settings. Then go to the scope settings section. Here, if the scope mode is set to tap, you have to tap the screen once to enter scope mode. And to exit scope mode, you must tap the screen again, meaning you have to touch the screen twice to shoot in scope mode, which often slows down your gameplay. What happens if we set it to hold? In this case, you remain in scope mode as long as your finger is on the screen, and as soon as you remove your finger, you exit scope mode. But what if we set it to mixed? Then you have both tap and hold modes. If your finger is on the screen for less than 1 second, tap is applied, and if it is more than 1 second, hold is applied. Try it and you will easily understand what I mean. The best option here is hold. What happens if camera rotation while ADS is enabled? In this case, the scope option can be moved by touch, meaning if you put your finger on the scope and move it, the scope moves in that direction. And this is only suitable for non-gyro players, not for gyro players. So if you use the gyroscope, set this to disable. Below that, we have the quick switch scope option, and you should definitely enable it so you can quickly change and adjust scopes on any weapon. Leave these two on default as changing them makes the game harder. I will not focus on them, and I try to keep the video clear and short. Let's move to the next section, which is peak settings. Enable it. If the peak mode is set to tap, like the scope option, you have to tap twice to enter and exit peak. If set to hold, you must keep your finger on the peak to remain in peak mode. And if set to mixed, you have both tap and hold, which I explained earlier, meaning under 1 second counts as tap and over 1 second counts as hold. If you play with 2 or 3 fingers, set it to mixed. But if you play with 4 or more fingers, set it to hold. On the right side, we have peak and open scope. If this is enabled, when you peek, you go directly into scope mode, and my suggestion is to disable it so you do not go straight into scope. And this has its own advantages. The camera rotation while leaning option allows the peak to be moved by touch, meaning if it is enabled, you can move the peak by touch, which again is only good for non-gyro players. So if you are a gyro player, disable it. Let's go to the advanced controls section. Do not touch these 4 items on the left. Leave them enabled, also disable this one, and set the one below it to enable. Then set the important jump climb option to separate, so you have 2 jump options with different uses. One climbs over walls, and the other is only for peeking over walls. Let me show you an example. Also disable this option. You might ask what it is since I say enable or disable without explanation. So let me explain with an example that it is not useful and makes the game worse. If you enable it, you will no longer have the prone option and must hold the crouch button to go prone, which may cause you to lose quickly in classic fights. Anyway, enable these 3 options so I can explain what they do. They are all for throwing. First, you can drag in a circular motion toward a specific direction and hold a specific item, which makes the game much faster. Second, you can quickly press at that point and throw. Third, you can throw support items to your friend when needed. Set FPP dynamic holding to enable so you can have a wider view than before, but only in FPP mode. If you have ever slipped or felt that you cannot run fast like others or even be seen properly, the reason is that your sprint sensitivity is set too low. Set it to the highest possible percentage so you can move very fast and professionally. Also, if you want something like an iPad view and a wider field of vision, set these two options to the highest possible percentage. Set this to enable even though it is already there, and set mark style to modern for clearer and better visibility. If you are a beginner, keep aim assist enabled for a short time, but if you have been playing for a while, please disable it so you can have more freedom and speed in the game. Set the main screen audio marker to classic. What is the benefit? It helps you easily understand how many enemies there are and where they are located. On the left side, leave everything on default. On the right side, set this to enable as well. Then enable continuously use bandages. If it is disabled, you must tap the screen again after each bandage use, which takes more time. But if enabled, the rest are used automatically. Disable block sight warning, and that is the difference between it being enabled or disabled. In this section, leave the rest of the options on their default settings. Many people also can't set good graphics for themselves, which results in bad graphics. Let's have a short guide to the graphics section and the other sections. In the graphics section, first select Customize Mode from here, then choose Smooth or Super Smooth. Then from this part, select the highest FPS option, which for me is Extreme. Then select Colorful. And in the lower section, choose the 𝗪𝗪𝗧𝗵𝗶𝘀 option. And after that, set the brightness between 110 and 120. And that's the result of good graphics. You can also use this sensitivity. If the video was helpful, please like it and subscribe to me. Until the next video, goodbye to all of you dear ones.